hosting and being the president of Brics in Kazan in Russia. Thank you very much, thank you very much for your kind words of welcome. It's a real joy and a pleasure to be here in Kazan in Russia, and we'd like to congratulate you for hosting and being the president of Brics, having taken over from us. As South Africa, we are sure that you will be able to chair our meeting and our summit so that Brics, as the enlarged Brics body, will continue growing from strength to strength.
All right, Shalom. This is Howard 1 by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahushai, Ba Hashem, Ha-Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This morning you have the Brics 2024 meeting, all right, where they're pushing for acceleration and growth and handing over the leadership of the alliance. They're handing over that leadership to Russia, all right, making it official. Now, we know the scriptures say that. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. This is Ezekiel 38 and 7. Be thou prepared. So Russia's prepared for offensively and defensively, right? Economically and militarily. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. So all the nations that have allied with Russia, Russia's going to help equip those nations, as we're already seeing with North Korea, Iran. They're talking about if Israel strikes Iran before the elections that's coming up, Russia's going to put out the fire. Put it like that. If they strike Iranian naval ships and they're on fire, Russia's finding a way to put those fires out. All right. Iran may have its own form of an iron dome because of Russia now. And then you got China, you got all these other nations, Syria, Africa, all spoken of in Ezekiel 38. All right. And so it says, what? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company. So not only Russia is prepared as a dominance itself, the military world, powerful military with the nukes, and their strong technology and military and influence in the world, but also make those other nations strong as yourself. See, nobody witnessed, well, a lot of people didn't witness what happened. They made the South African leader the president of the Brics first, so the body can become strong. And now that it's come strong, they gave it a head, which is Russia. So they said they want to go from strength to strength. Let the weak say I'm strong. They all strengthening themselves, man. It's like a fight coming up. All right. And all thy company that are assembled unto thee, they assemble into each other like a body, like Voltron. And be thou a guard unto them. See, they've made Russia the president now, the president of the Brics corporate alliance. So he's going to protect his allies. All right. And they're allegedly talking about possible bringing out their own currency a little bit after the elections, going into next year. All right. But yeah, they have made it official to where Russia is the president of the Brics allegiance, man. All right, I think this is Russia, Pakistan, South Africa, China. I forgot who he's with. Brazil. All right. So they're all allied, man. And then you got Saudi Arabia in the wings, Iran waiting to join, and then you still got the OPEC nations, which are the oil petroleum exporting countries that basically control the dollar, the petrodollar. You know, the existence of the petrodollar. And it's not even called OPEC anymore. It's called OPEC plus one. They can't make a decision without that one. Who's that one? Russia. Whoo. Right, so scripture say the Most High putting the spirit on Russia to be a guard unto these nations. He's watching over these nations. All right. Look, this is an article. It says Putin brings together. Who brought them together? Putin. Most High used Putin to bring all these nations together. Putin brings together economies he hopes will eclipse the West. The Russian leader hopes to use the meeting of the so-called Brics group, which includes China and India, as a counterweight to the West. Come on, man. All right, so to eclipse the West, man. What does it mean to eclipse? Right, that's what it means to eclipse someone or something. To eclipse someone or something means to make another person, in this state, the country of America, in the West, their Western allies over in Europe, to make something, another person, or a thing seem much less important, good, or famous. Wow. This is Isaiah 47:1. Come down. See, America was being lifted up on the high horse of those European nations, being backed by Europe, all right, all those bankers. Come down and sit in the dust, man. Go sit in obscurity, man. Go into darkness, sit in confusion, all right, powerless, hiding in the corner. O virgin daughter of Babylon, the pure wickedness and idolatry, you know, and business mind setting as ancient Babylon. That's America, the same idolatrous nation, you know, in reflection. As is the mother, so is the daughter. Sit on the ground, so sit in poverty. All right, go sit in the corner. You know, sit on the ground, because nations or people that are sitting upon horses represent royalty or leadership, right? Being exalted. But to sit on the ground represents a servitude or poverty, or destitute, needing help. All right? There is no throne anymore, no more power in the world for America. America's losing its powers, losing its power in the earth. All right. What would be the term I'm looking for? They're losing their what's the word I'm looking for, man? Their manipulation, their influence. They're losing their influence upon these nations. O daughter of the Chaldeans, right? Because America was branched out of these elite bankers in Europe, and they're going to leave America hanging. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, right? Because we're in the time of Daniel chapter 2, with the 10 toes, miry clay, still having that strength of the Roman Empire, but it's partly broken and partly strong. as the Lord is breaking up the Western Alliance, He's building up the Eastern Alliance, so He can make way for the kings of the East, and they gonna be powerful, boy. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, man. See, now they're looking at this place like, let's get away from America's, right? So this place is no more called tender and delicate. Putin, the Lord used Putin to get something more desirable for these other nations, more beneficial for places like Africa, North Korea. That's the Brics. All right. So let me get this real quick. Isaiah 47:5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, man. See that? Go get into darkness, meaning go sit in the corner somewhere in obscurity, not out on the main stage calling the shots. Nope. Russia's calling the shots now, and the Brics is going to be on the main stage. They're saying it's their turn now. The weak are saying they're strong. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Man. All right. This is Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, right? When America was being exalted, I think it was 1913, in the 1920s, the roaring 20s, right? All up until about the 90s, the 60s and all the way to the 90s, America was thriving, going to take over lands, taking over the Middle East. Got 200 military interventions. That's a lot for America to be involved in. It says, yea, also because he transgressive by wine through their business, through their dollar. They think they were running the shots, calling the shots. But now Russia like, nah, we got a better idea. Let's come up with Brics. Let's go digital. And let's use our own currency or use gold or use oil. Everything but the dollar. Never saw this coming. It says, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. See, they became proud. America the proud, right? Neither keepeth at home. See that? Neither keepeth at home. Look what they're doing to Gaza. Look what they did in the Middle East. So-called Middle East. Look what they're doing on the borders of Russia, setting up military bases. All right, minding other nations' business instead of their own. That's what Russia said. Russia said, Putin said this the other day. He said, y'all need to worry about P. Diddy. He said this. Look it up. He said, y'all need to worry about P. Diddy and start worrying about Russia and North Korea. Now, there's a reason he's saying worry about P. Diddy, meaning all those elites and the trafficking that's going on here. All right, he was like, y'all need to worry about that instead of worry about what's going on with the Brics. It says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death, man. So America is death, especially Esau. But this is that death and hell that's going to be cast into the lake of fire. So wherever these Edomites push their desire, they bring nothing but death and destruction. And cannot be satisfied. Look at Gaza. Look at Hezbollah. Look at all these nations they're destroying. They cannot be satisfied. Even destroying their own nation through the foods, through the economy, through the democratic infrastructure, pushing World War III, dragging this nation into war. All right. And sending off all the resources and money to other nations like Ukraine. So, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, more debt. The thick clay is debt. So this nation is indebted because of that dollar. The same thing that gave it its power is what's making this place weak. All right. The same thing that gave it its power, the Lord using it to make this place distraught with those missiles. They established the missiles, that's going to be their destruction. They established the dollar, that's going to be their downfall. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? All right. And awake that shall vex thee. So all those nations, what nations are part of the Brics? All right. So you got places that own America's debt and that deal with America's oil. Iran, and they own portions of America's debt. China. All right. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? Let's get that bite thee. Because they could send all those dollars home to roost and cause economic crash. Dollar de-dollarization. It says they shall strike this place, oppress it. To pay, give interest, lend for interest or usury. To make, to give interest. They're gonna make you pay up. They can make America pay up, send all those dollars home to roost and say they want their money, they want their land for it, or the leases. The money can buy up all the land and the buildings. All right. And America can't pay. They're going to default on the debt. So, man. All right. It says what? And awake that shall vex thee, man. Let's get that vex. So this is a banking and military and economical alliance that Russia and these BRICS nations have started. It says to shake off, to agitate, to tremble, to quiver, quake, be in terror. So they're going to cause this place to be in terror, shake this place up, to cause it to what? To shake violently, to cause to tremble, as with fear. So he said all faces gather blackness, meaning fear. All their leadership is scared of what they see. They see us out there teaching, they scared of that. They see the BRICS coming together, they scared of that because it's all prophecy. All right. And now it says here, Habakkuk 2:7, shall they not rise up suddenly? So the BRICS is coming together, and then eventually they're going to rise up against this place. And that shall bite thee, right? Cause it to pay up on the debt. And awake that shall vex thee. They're going to awake, like people like North Korea and China over there in Taiwan. And Russia, the bear waking up out of hibernation. Africa, right? Waking up after that apartheid that they went through. And thou shalt be for booties unto them, plunder. They're going to plunder this place. All right? To spoil, to cause it to be destroyed. Because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, man. America has been greedy. All right, that's what covetousness means. To gain by evil means, man. The evil covetousness. Robbing, stealing, and killing. Profit, unjust gain, man. Acquired by violence. That's this place, America, USA. The hammer of the earth. They acquired everything they got in this place, all the resources and power and fame because of the violence. World War II, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right. So, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. What did the scripture say? Sit on the ground. Get your ass down there. All right. Let me get something real quick. Not this one. I don't want this one. All right. This is Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them and all his allies that rise up against me a destroying wind, man. All right. So all of this is going to end with nuclear ICBM missiles being shot on this place. And will send unto Babylon fanners. So the Lord has told all these nations to come against her round about, right? To come together. And the Lord going to send them against this place once they fully form that alliance. But he said, I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, man. All right, so those nations are the fanners. Those are the enemies. It says an enemy. So the Lord created an enemy for this place. To become estranged. These nations have become estranged to America. That used to be allies with America. China, Russia, parts of Africa. All right. But now they're becoming estranged to this place. Like they never knew it. All right. It says to be estranged, to be one alienated. So they're alienating America, leaving it by itself, making it a gazing stock. So they're all around it, pointing at this place, America, as the target. And will send unto Babylon enemies that shall fan her. They're going to scatter this place, or shake it up, put it in fear. It says to scatter, disperse, cause it to be spread out, fighting battles on many fronts. Gonna wear itself thin, man. To diffuse, put out this fire. They're gonna put the fire out in this place, put the lights out, to winnow, to raise it, you know. So I will send unto Babylon enemies that shall scatter her, man, put her in fear, and shall empty her land. So this place is going to be empty. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So when this place is about to fall, which it is now, and the economy crashes and all this, all hell breaking loose, maybe the lights will be out like over in Cuba. That's when you're going to see these nations surround this place. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. All right. This is Nahum 2:8. But Nineveh, America is spiritually Nineveh is of old like a pool of water. All right, imagine a pool of water and that shit draining out. Right? Meaning the power is draining out, the resources, the economy is draining, the mirth of the land is draining, and its allies are leaving, just like the pool of water that's draining. So Nineveh is like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. So all those nations fled away. They estranged themselves from America now. Now they're part of Brics. You think they all grew up together and shit. Stand, stand, shall they cry. America, like, stay with us. We're gonna put sanctions on you. Stay with us. But none shall look back. They ain't look back, man. Ever since they started talking about Brics, none of them have looked back yet. They're moving forward with their plan, and they're not afraid. Ain't that something? All right. All right. So the article reads, Putin brings together economies he hopes will eclipse the West. Now, Putin has become the president of Brics, the plus one of the OPEC nations, and the military overlord, protector, defense of these other nations, and supplier. They're all supplying each other. The Russian leader hopes to use the meeting of the so-called Brics group, which includes China and India, as a counterweight to the West. which is spearheaded by America. After Russia launched its full-scale invasion, which was a forced invasion, of Ukraine in 2022, the West imposed sweeping economic sanctions, which is like tax. All right, cut its sanctions, cut its access to the global banking system. Right, they cut Russia's access to the global banking system. Um, that's what America did. I think it was SWIFT. They cut Russia out of it, which was a mistake. Ever since that, Russia was like, oh really? All right, we're gonna go start our own thing. Ever since that, they've been starting this Brics. So they cut Russia's access to the global banking system, the SWIFT banking system, and sought to isolate Russia diplomatically from the rest of the world, not militarily. So they're basically at war, but they're trying to go through every other means of war, economically, diplomatically, instead of militarily, which is World War III. All right, but President Vladimir V. Putin of Russia is determined to show the West that he has important allies on his side. This week, Russia is hosting the so-called Brics group, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, in a gathering of emerging market countries. The meeting, which begins Tuesday, which is today, has expanded this year to include Egypt, Ethiopia, which is in the Bible, Ezekiel 38, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. That's all them Arab nations, man. Whoo-wee. That's like the whole Middle East. But then you have South Africa. The South African leader, he said, yo, South Africa has agreed to become an allied nation within Africa, meaning no more wars amongst the Africans. They want to be allied by May of next year so that they can hand themselves over to the will of the new president of Brics, which is Russia. So they're strengthening their whole body first. It's deep, man. Its wonky name notwithstanding, it was coined by a Wall Street banker in 2001. Brics now includes countries representing almost half of the world's population and more than 35% of global economic output, adjusted by purchasing power. All right. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I'm going to read a little bit more, not too much. The conference is intended to present a hefty showcase of economic might, but also entice new countries. That's what they're doing. They're enticing more countries to come, like Turkey and Saudi Arabia, to entice new countries into a coalition. That's what it is, a coalition. Russia hopes to build that would form a new world order, not dominated by the West. See, that's where he gonna mess up at. Russia and China, they trying to start a new world order. You know, against the West satanic new world order. Because ultimately, this is why the Lord said, I am against thee, O God. The Lord is still against Russia. He's not going to let them get their new world order. All right? But this is going to be the cause of their entanglement, their war. And Brics is the most potent and representative structure of this new world order. Damn. That was a message Mr. Putin emphasized at a meeting of officials and businessmen last week in Moscow ahead of the summit. They're going to go to war, man. This is World War III right here. You're looking at it. Got all them powerhouses in there. All right, let me read this last precept, man. Sheesh. Yeah, this is a perfect backdrop for his last precept because you got Russia. Even though Putin's not in the picture, that's his spokesman, right? Ambassador. Look at that. That's the end of America right there. Call Halayim Lay, how about Shemi Abishai? We're seeing it. All right. Nahum 3 and 11. Right? Thou shalt be drunken. So America's going to be drunken. Let me get something real quick. This is Jeremiah 25 and 15. For thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. And they shall drink and be moved. So all the nations have drunk of the cup that the Lord put into America's hand, the golden cup. But now, and they became drunken. But now the Lord is putting that cup to the mouth of America. All right, of the fury of Yahweh's hand. And they shall drink and be moved out of their place and be mad. All right. The confusion. Because of the sword that I will send among them. And to be drunken means to be mad, meaning out of your damn mind. All right, out of your wits. That's why he said, what's his Nahum 3 and 18. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust and confusion. All their leaders are out of their damn mind right now. All right. And it says here, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. So the Lord going to send destruction upon this place. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink, unto whom Yahweh has sent me. Now that the Lord is sending that cup towards America. All right, this is Nahum 3 and 11. Thou shalt be drunken. Thou shalt be hid, man. He said, sit down in the dust. Get thee into darkness. Powerless. All right, overshadowed, eclipsed. Thou shalt seek strength. Thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. So all these nations had to seek strength because America was the enemy. Now America, we're going to see America scrambling, seeking to strengthen itself. And it's going to be funny because of their enemies now that the Lord raised up against them. And it's going to be an uphill battle, boy, because they ain't going to have nobody to help. And they're going to see that Europe, those in England, the dragon, and NATO, well, mainly the European Union, is going to leave America hanging. And they're going to help to further its destruction. They're being dragged into this war. So I'm going to end it there, man. So America's going to seek strength because of this, man. All right? Scaring the hell out of these leaders of this place, Babylon. With that, I'm going to end it, say Shalom. Check out the meeting. If you go on YouTube, man, I think they're live right now at the Brics Summit. All right? Shalom.